You have children?
Yes.
How many?
3.
Are you married?
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is name. N-A-M-E.
Really?
You bet your life. The National Broadcasting Company presents Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz show transcribed from Hollywood. And now, here he is, the one, the only...
Nothing to shout about. They're a dime a dozen. Well, here I am again with $2,000 for one of our couples, and if any of them say the secret word, the duck will come down and pay them each $50.50. Our duck gives away more money than any other duck on the air. No other poultry farm can make that statement. The word tonight is name. Hasta la vista. Okay, Rockefeller, take off. George, who's first?
Well, Mrs. Sylvia Thompson and her partner Ben Zeppa are waiting.
Are you wearing a foundation?
No.
You look thinner tonight.
I do?
I guess the way you're standing.
I guess it must be.
I just thought you were wearing a foundation.
Well?
Have you ever worn one?
No, I never have.
Wouldn't hurt you to...
I think Mrs. Thompson and Mr. Zeppa are still waiting out there. He's
Waiting out where?
right out here.
What, do you have them tied up or something?
No. There they are now.
Oh, well, welcome. Welcome from Moose Lodge, number 9, East Liverpool, Ohio. Say the secret word and you'll divide $101. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Now, let's see. Sylvia Thompson and Ben Zeppa, eh? You make quite a combination there. Sylvia, how tall are you?
I'm 6'1" in my stocking feet and almost 6'4" in my heels.
No. Well, do you know a lot of heels? And Shorty, what is your height?
4'8".
4'8", huh? Is that the class you're in? 4'8", you said?
No.
4'8"?
That's my height.
Oh. 4'8" what, I mean?
Feet. 4 feet.
4'8" feet,
inches.
huh? You're almost as tall as she is. You're the tallest 4'8" I've ever seen. You must have 2 feet elevator shoes on there, haven't you? Huh? Are you married, Sylvia?
Yes, I am. I have a little girl.
Takes care of you also. You have a little girl?
Uh-huh. She's 5 months old.
5 months old, huh? How tall is your husband?
He's 6'6" in his stocking feet.
No. Well, do you all walk around in your stocking feet?
Sure.
Don't you wear any shoes at all in your house?
No, heavens, no.
Well, together you're 13 feet, huh?
Yeah.
Just about. Well, that's an advantage. At least you're never short at the end of the month like most married couples. How did you meet this dinosaur, Sylvia?
Dinosaur?
Isn't she a singer, dinosaur? Well, this giant that captivated you.
Well, we were at a tip-topper dance, and
You were where?
I met him in a tip-topper dance.
Tip-topper dance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were
What do
dancing.
you do? Go walk around tip your tops?
No, that's a club.
It's a club?
It's a club for tall people.
Oh.
The girls have to be 6 foot in their stocking feet.
Here we go again.
And the boys have to be 6'4" in their stocking feet.
Pretty gamey around there, isn't it?
And they make sure that they're that size too, because in the introductory dinner, well, they measure them, and they have
They measure them? What do they have? An undertaker there that they lie down and measure them?
No, they have a little stick that's called Little Joe, and you stand on it in your stocking feet, and you have a light on. The light goes out if you measure that correct height.
And if you don't, the key goes out, huh?
Well, a lot of times they stretch people. They one time they
Was
held...
that a 7th inning stretch or just an
one
stretch
time,
inning?
One time they put a girl over the balcony and they held her, so she...
They held her in the balcony? I held a girl once in the balcony, but I didn't stretch her. I just held her, that's all, until the usher threw us both out.
And she got in, too.
She got in the balcony?
No, she got in the club.
Well, is the club in the balcony? Don't you have a club downstairs?
No. The club is a social club.
Well, it's quite
With all
evident,
people. And we have lots of fun.
Stretching each other, eh?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Well, you sound like you and your husband make an ideal couple, Sylvia, and if I ever wind up sitting in back of you in a movie theater, I'm certainly going to ask for my money back. Your name is Ben Gazzara?
Who?
Ben Gazzara, is that it?
No, Ben Zeppo.
Ben Zeppo, eh? That's my brother, Zeppo. You're not my brother, are you?
My name's Ben Zeppo.
You said the sacred word, Ben Zeppo. So you and your partner each get $50.50. Okay, beat it. There you are, and you'll get the 50 cents later. We just don't have any change. See, it used to be $100 for the secret word. Now it's $101 on account of the other shows giving away such huge sums. No, this is true. We have increased the amount. Because we don't take a back seat for anybody.
I didn't know what I said.
How old are you, Ben?
13.
13. You must lead a very clean life because you don't look a day over 30. Were you named after Benjamin Franklin?
No.
Who were you named after? Big
My
Ben,
father.
the alarm clock?
No.
Oh, your father is an alarm clock?
No.
Oh. You know, I never was 13 years old. I was 12 once. In fact, I was 12 for about 8 years. In fact, all the brothers were. When we used to travel in Baltimore, if you were 12 or under, then you went on half fare on the railroad train. And for years we traveled this way. I remember once my mother used to travel with us then. We didn't need her, but she thought we did. And the conductor came along and asked for the tickets, and she gave him 4 half-fare tickets. And he says, "Where are the kids?" And she said, "Well, they're around the train someplace." And he looked in the washroom, and Harper was shaving in there. This is true. And the other 2 boys were in the baggage car shooting dice. I was making a play for a dame across the aisle. The conductor come back and says, "Mrs. Marks, if these kids of yours are under 12, I'm too young to be running this train," and he jumped off at the next station. Actually, how old are you, Ben?
13.
13. Now, you're sticking to that story, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Ben, I realize the interests of a 12-year-old boy are pretty varied, but what do you like to do best of all?
I like to sing.
You sing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, what do you do? You sing? Are you in the glue club or the glee club at school?
No, I don't like the Glee Club too well because they sing these long hair deals. I like popular tunes.
Long hair deals?
Yeah, like if I were an apple on a tree.
No, I don't. What kind of an apple was it? Do you remember? Well, it must have been a baldwin if it was long-haired, huh? No, it's just the reverse, you think, huh? You know, when I was your age, I sang in a Presbyterian church choir in Madison Avenue, New York. This is true. And I sang in this choir until they found out what was the matter with it. Ben, I'd like to hear you sing. Could you sing something for us? What are your favorites?
Oh, Mambo Italiano, Heart. Popular songs like that.
Mambo Italiano and what else?
Heart.
Heart. What do you mean, heart?
Heart.
My heart stood still?
No, just Heart.
Heart. Is that the name of it?
Uh-huh.
Heart, huh? Well, gotta have heart? Is that the name of it?
No, it's just Heart. That's the first words. You gotta have Heart.
And the name of the song is Heart?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what key do you warble in as a rule?
B flat.
Well, if it isn't good, you'll be flat at the finish. Mr. Meekin, could you knock off a few notes for Ben here? Just fake it. Nobody, including your orchestra, will know the difference. Go ahead, Ben. Tell us.
You gotta have heart. All you really need is heart. When the odds are saying you never win, that's when the grin should start. You gotta have hope. Mustn't sit around and moan. Nothing's half as bad as it may appear. Wait till next year and hope. When your luck is bad and zero, get your chin up off the floor. Mister, you can be a hero. You can open any door, but good, you gotta have heart.
Sing it, Ben.
Miles and miles and miles of heart. Oh, it's fine to be a genius, of course, but get on a horse before the cart. First, you gotta have heart.
Ben, you've got an excellent pair of pipes, and someday if you work hard, you could be another Caruso.
No, an Eddie Fisher.
What? What's that?
Eddie Fisher.
Well, you're a charming couple, and I hope you both make a lot of money tonight, because right now we're going to play You Bet Your Life. Now, you know how to play this game, Ben?
Mm-hmm.
You know your partners now, and we only want one answer between you.
Mm-hmm.
We start you off with $100, and you miss a question, you lose half your bankroll. Have you met Mr. Fenneman?
No.
Hi, how are you?
Fine.
Hello, man.
This is Mrs. Ben Pierre. What is her name? Mrs.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you do?
Don't overdo it, George. Now, you selected the musical category. These are all top tunes of the last 20 years. And remember, the more the question is worth, the harder it is. Now, what do you want to start with? 10, 20, 50, all the way to 100?
100.
I think you better discuss this with your partner.
We did.
Oh, you agreed? When did you meet? This morning, you two? Now, this song was written in 1936, but it became very popular in 44. Let's see if you can remember it. Play, Jack. You don't know, guess. I'll give you a hint. It's not My Country 'Tis a Thee. It's Poinciana.
You lost half your 100. You still have $50.
Well, now, you've got quite a ways to go. Now, don't go down. What are you going to go for?
9.
90? Originally, this was an old sea shanty, and that became a big hit when a new set of lyrics were added. You tell me the name of it. Okay, Jack. What is it?
Bell-bottom trousers?
Sing it, Ben. Sing it.
Bell-bottom trousers.
That's it. You're a little short in the waist. But that's right. That's for $90, and you now have $140.
Right.
Now, what are you going to go for? 80, 50, 30?
80.
$80. This song was written by Ray Noble. Now, you give me the title of it. What is it?
The Very Thought of You?
The Very Thought of You is absolutely on the button.
You now have $220.
Now, here's your last chance to beat the other couples. What are you going to go for? 70 Dollar? 70 Dollar. This novelty song was a big hit a few years ago. Let's see if you can identify it. Play, Jack.
How much is that doggy in the window?
As you ought to be ashamed to take the money, Ben. That's a pretty easy question for $70.
And you wind up with $290.
Well, thanks and good luck.
We'll return to Groucho's Fast. Just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Mr. Robert McLeod to be on the show tonight, and his partner is Mrs. Pearl Money. Folks, would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $101. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Pearl Money and Robert, what is it?
McLeod.
McLeod, huh? Oh. Mrs. Money, last time I saw you, you were in my wallet. Where are you from?
Sadlersville, Tennessee.
Where?
Sadlersville, Tennessee.
Sadlersville? You're from the South. What is your name again, Shorty?
My name is Robert McLeod.
Boy, the natural affinity between the Scots and money is just something that's okay. Now beat it. Now, I don't want to see you again tonight. You're pauperizing the DeSoto Company. It's $50 for you and $50 for you because that's the secret word, Ben Piazza. Was that the secret word is Pearl Money? No. Name. Now, what is it? Does everybody call you Shorty or what?
No, I'm affectionately known as Scotty Groucho.
Scotty Groucho?
No, Scotty.
Scotty? Well, that's what they call a dog, isn't it? Yeah. Well, why do they call you Scotty? Are you part Swedish?
No, I'm from a place called Queen's Park, which is in the west side of Glasgow, Scotland.
Oh. Well, if you were 100% proof Scotch, you'd have a government stamp on the top of your head. Unless you were bootlegged. Eh? How tall are you, Scotty?
I'm 5 foot, Groucho.
Oh. Well, I'd like to go on with this chat, but the time has come to play You Bet Your Life. You both know how to play this game?
Yes, sir.
Well, anyway, we want one answer between you. Remember your partners. You've selected a thumbnail movie quiz. I'll give you a brief synopsis of some of the most famous movies of all time, and you give me the title of the movie. Some of these go quite a way back, and remember, the more the questions were, the tougher they are. Yes, it is. Am. I had my tongue around my eye tooth, and I couldn't see what I was saying. It's an old Ed Wynn joke. Now, what do you want to start with? 10, 20, 50, 100? What?
We'll try 50, Groucho.
$50. Well, that's a good Scottish right. My brothers and I made a picture in which practically the whole cast was crowded into a small stateroom in one scene. What was the name of this movie?
Seven Brides for Seven Brothers.
That would have been a much better title, but it happened to be A Night at the Opera. And now what are you going to try?
You have $50 left from the 100.
So we'll shoot for the other 50, huh, Fiddle?
Well, you can go for 40 or 60. 50 has been taken now.
50's been taken. We'll take 60.
60. In 1934, both Claudette Colbert and Clark Gable won Academy Awards for their parts in a Frank Capra comedy. You tell me the name of it.
It happened one night.
What was that?
It happened one night.
That's right. It happened one night.
You now have $110.
Oh, what are you going to try? 70? 80?
We'll try for 100, Groucho.
100. In 1928, Buddy Rogers, Clara Bow, and Richard Arlen starred in the first big picture about World War I flyers. What was the name of this picture?
We fly alone?
Hell's Angels.
No, that's very nice, but you're both wrong. It was Wings.
You now have $55.
All right, you still got a chance. Now, what are you going to go for? Little ones are easy. Which one? 80? 40?
We'll go for 80, Groucho.
80. Now, one answer this time. I don't want two answers like you did last time. In 1942, Greer Garson, that's a countrywoman of yours, and Walter Pidgeon starred in a movie about an English family during World War II. What was the name of this picture?
The name of it was Mrs. Miniver.
That's right. Mrs. Miniver's right.
and you wind up with $135. And that means that Mrs. Thompson and Ben Zeppa with $290 get the chance at the $2,000 question. Here's the winning couple, Groucho. Mrs. Thompson and Ben Zeppa all set for the $2,000 question.
Well, here's your chance to get rid of that girl, Ben, and, because you may have money after this. You also may not. All right, here we go for $2,000. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully, and please no help from the audience. Here it is. Captain James Cook discovered the Hawaiian Islands in 1778. For $2,000, what name did Captain Cook give to the Hawaiian Islands? What's the answer you two have decided upon?
I don't know if this is right.
What?
Bahamas?
No, you're wrong. It's the Sandwich Islands. So that means the big question next week will be worth $2,500. Well, they lost the big money. How much did they win the quiz?
$290 in the quiz.
And didn't they win the secret word?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Well, how much is that total now?
$390.
No. What about the $1, George?
Oh, I've forgotten about that. $391.
That's better, George. Well, congratulations, and thanks to both of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
From the 26th of October in 1955, we've...
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is street. S-T-R-E-E-T.
Really?
You bet your life. It's Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood and brought to you by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America, who invite you to see and drive the delightful, lovely DeSoto for 1956.
The time has come, it's very clear. The car you wanted is really here. It's delightful, it's so lovely, it's DeSoto. You'll understand the reasons why. For once you drive it, you want to buy. It's delightful, it's so lovely, it's DeSoto.
And now, here he is, the one, the only...
Well, here I am again with $2,500 for one of our couples. And if any of them say the secret word, the Flying A Duck will come down and pay him $101. The word tonight is street.
Well, Groucho, just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Mr. Mentor Klein to be on the program tonight. His partner is a very special guest, Dr. Giovanni. I've seen Dr. Giovanni work, and I thought that if I invited him down to the show, that you could have some fun with him, Groucho. So here they are. Folks, you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome. Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers. Say the secret word, and you each get an extra $50.50. It's a common word, something you see every day. Well, what have we here? Two men, eh? How dull. Mentor Klein.
That's me.
Yes, Mentor Klein
That's
and
right.
Dr. Giovanni. Eh? Where are you from, Mr. Klein?
I'm from Chicago. In fact, I'm from the South Side.
South side
near
of Chicago?
Near the Forest Hill School. Didn't you go there?
No,
With
I
your
never went
family?
to school. I lived in the South Side, but
That's right.
I didn't go
lived
to
right
school.
near there.
I went to the Wilson Avenue Theater. But why did you come to California? I mean, was this the gold rush?
For the air, get nice, clean California air. I thought we
Well, you're licking your wounds now, aren't you?
I'd spend my declining years.
Well, you'll spend your declining years will be very swift if you stay here. I would say about 3 more days of this will do it to all of us. Huh? Are you for Hirat?
Yes, I work for the Pickwick Bookshop in Hollywood.
I asked if you were married, and you said you worked for a bookshop.
Sorry, I am married. I didn't understand your German.
It's not top grade German. But you are married, huh?
I'm married, yes.
Despite the fact that you work in a bookshop.
That's right.
You know what? With the movies, television, and the do-it-yourself craze, I'm surprised there are any bookstores left. Do people still read?
Oh, yes. People are more literate than ever, I think. They read more than ever.
Is that true?
Yes.
I know. I went out and bought a book right after I bought my television set. One of the legs on the set was short, and I used it to prop it up. You're Dr. Giovanni?
I am Dr. Giovanni.
What kind of a doctor are you, Doctor?
I am I'm a manipulator.
Oh, a manipulator.
Yes, sir.
In other words, you're a chiropractor, huh?
No, I'm a manipulator.
Well, what kind of a manipulator are you, Doc?
Well,
you run a shell game down on Main Street?
No, I'm picking pockets. I'm the world's greatest pickpocket.
Well, that's a pretty strong statement there, Doctor. It happens I come from a long line of pickpockets.
I am in a theater, in a nightclub. I ask from the audience people to come up, and I relieve them from the pocket book, from suspender, and watch whatever they do. I get them.
You do this in a nightclub?
Yes, sir.
Pretty tough spots to operate, isn't it?
Well,
After the nightclub gets through, there's not much left in their wallet. How do you get away with this thievery, Doc? Do people know when you're extracting their money?
no, I get money for it. I take them away, and
So do you return the money?
well, later on, yes.
You mean about 20 years later?
No, after the show.
Well, a man would have to be pretty dumb to let you get away with anything like that. Do you just pick on squares, or have you ever lifted anything from anybody that was real smart?
Well, it was
Real cool, I mean.
One gentleman was very little,
Was very
really
cool?
outstanding. He was not too dumb. I took his pocketbook and his watch and his suspender, and the gentleman looked around there, less than 1 minute, and the name of the gentleman was J. Edgar Hoover.
Well, what did Mr. Hoover say about this? Did he give you a...
Well, he said...
Did he take back his vacuum cleaner?
No, he said, you are the fastest worker what I ever seen, and thank you, you returned me everything.
Oh, I bet he says that to all the pickpockets.
I don't think so.
Well, Doc, I'm curious to see you operate. Let's see you take this bookman's wallet. Could you do that?
Would you like to see?
Yeah, I would love to see
Step
it. And I'll
over
be
here.
watching you like a horse.
You step over here and watch
need-
that very careful.
I need
Now,
some-
usually, which pocket you think the pocketbook's supposed to be in the pocket?
Well, they usually have it over here on the
No,
left-hand side, don't they?
no. This pocketbook is in that one, you see?
Now, how did
But
you know that so
it's
quickly?
here. This is it. This is something? You like it?
Yeah, I'm crazy
How
about
you
it.
like this one?
Come here with it. Every nickel of it, huh?
Put it away. Don't worry about
All
it.
right.
Now you can see why I'm the world's greatest pickpocket. I invented this act, and I am the father of this act.
Doc, you're about as shifty a character as anybody we've ever had up here. That includes Mr. Klein here. Now, let's see how successful you are at playing our game here. Let's see if you can correctly name the professions of these famous people. And remember, the more the question is worth, the harder it is. Now, we want one answer between you, and you can start from 10, 20, all the way up to 100.
90?
All right. What was Booker T. Washington's profession?
He was a teacher.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
You now have $190.
Now, what do you want to try?
We did
80? What was Edvard Grieg's profession?
musician.
Composer, that's right.
You now have $270.
Now, what are you going to try?
70.
70? What was William Allen White's profession?
Newspaper editor.
Editor and journalist is correct.
You now have $340.
60, 100?
100.
100? What was Marcel Proust's profession?
He was a writer.
Novelist and writer is correct, and a great one, too.
And you wind up with $440.
Thank you very much.
Well, thanks, and a Merry Christmas to the Soda Plymouth dealers.
Thank you very
Doctor.
much
It was a
indeed,
pleasure.
Carl. So before I leave you, I would like to give you a souvenir.
Whether you're driving on a long cross-country trip or wheeling your way through city traffic, you'll stay more alert and safe when you drive the new 1956 DeSoto with full-time power steering, one of the new DeSoto's great safety features. It does all the work all the time. You have all the fun of safer, relaxed driving. The new forward-look DeSoto gives you many additional safety features, too. Features the DeSoto has had for years. Safety rim wheels, power brakes,
a unique, completely independent handbrake, plus safety door locks and optional seatbelt. DeSoto's exclusive push-button drive selector is a safety feature, too. It's out of everyone's reach but yours, and you can't make a mistake using it. In a word, with the new DeSoto, you get everything for safer, more enjoyable driving, plus the greatest price deal imaginable. We dare you to compare DeSoto with cars priced $2,000 higher. Yet you can get a wonderful deal on the new DeSoto today. That's because DeSoto sales have already doubled last year. Compare. Drive and price a DeSoto before you decide. And remember, for a Christmas gift that will give the whole family pleasure all year round, give the delightful, the lovely DeSoto for $19.56.
Groucho, we have a housewife for you now. She's Mrs. Edith Marsh. Her partner is a special guest, General Clarence A. Shoup. So, folks, you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome to the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and divide $101. It's a common word, something you see every day. General Shoup and Mrs. Marsh. General, we're glad to have you aboard.
Thank you. Glad to be here, Groucho.
Mrs. Marsh, I notice you spell your name E-D-Y-T-H-E. That's Edith. Why is that? What's wrong with the regular, customary way of spelling it?
I know of no other way to spell it. I've always spelled it that way, Groucho.
Do they call you Edith or Edith?
They usually call me Edie.
Edie?
I'd like to have you call me Edie, if you don't mind.
Well, you'll have to learn to spell your name differently. If you want to pronounce it Edith, I can't call you Edie. How old are you, Edie?
Oh, a gentleman never asked a lady her age.
Now, that's very true. Now, how old are you? Approximately.
Well, can we just forget the whole thing?
Yes, we can. And I'll call you Edith. General, you wouldn't mind telling us your age, would you?
No, I wouldn't. 47.
47. Well, you're a fine-looking lad. What is your first name again, General?
Clarence.
Clarence. Clarence? General Clarence Shoup. Your middle name wouldn't be Oop, would it?
No,
Oop Shoup.
not quite. It's worse than that.
Well, what could be worse than Oop Shoup? Come on, Clarence. What's your middle name?
Well, maybe Adelbert.
Adelbert, huh? You're right. It's worse than Oop, huh? You got a lot of decorations on your chest. Could you tell us what they are, General?
Well, I have the Distinguished Flying Cross, the Air Medal, the Army Commendation, Croix de Guerre, Distinguished Unit Citation, and various theater medals.
You could probably wear a lot more if you wanted to, couldn't you?
Not legally.
No, I think you're just being modest. Are you living at Camp Pendleton?
Yeah. Groucho, this happens to be an Air Force uniform I'm wearing, and I live in Beverly Hills.
You mean there's an Air Force base in Beverly Hills?
Good place.
I always thought all that commotion came from a pack of Cub Scouts who escaped from their den mother. Are you married, General?
Yes, I am.
Oh, you've seen a lot of fighting, huh? Any of those medals for matrimony?
No, I don't wear those.
Those are not usually seen, are they?
No.
There's scallops on the back of your neck.
Behind the scenes.
How did you meet your commanding officer?
Well, I met her in Palm Springs. She was down there on a vacation with Alexis Smith, and a friend of mine from Lockheed, Louis Wolfkiller, and I went down for a weekend just before I went overseas, and he introduced us.
Oh, Alexis Smith. And is your wife an actress, too?
Yes, she's Julie Bishop.
Oh. Well, you have a very attractive and talented star for a wife. I've seen her in many pictures. What are your duties these days with the Air Force?
I'm commander of the 146th Fighter Interceptor Wing of the California Air National Guard.
What does California need an Air Force for? We have no air out here. What do you fly in? Nothing but smog, huh?
We get above the smog.
How high do you have to go before you get out of the smog?
It wasn't very high today. I was only up about 900 feet.
Oh.
Actually, we're the Air National Guard is a reserve component of the United States Air Force, and we're part of the Air Defense Command. In that category, we are engaged in a portion of the air defense of Southern California. We operate under tactical air control at 27th Air Division as a regular Air Force unit.
What are the advantages of joining an outfit like this, General?
Well, I think it's terrific, Groucho. It's a wonderful opportunity for young men now. They can serve their military obligation and still stay at home. We do most of our work on weekends or evenings, and these boys can maintain their normal living. If they're going to college, they can go out and serve in the Air National Guard and complete their military obligation. It's a terrific opportunity.
I gather you recommend this as a good part-time career for young men, don't you?
I certainly do, and I can speak from experience. I started out as a private and worked my way up to my present position.
Well, can everybody be a general after a while?
Well, they all have the equal opportunity.
You hear that, man? Join this outfit immediately, and you too can marry a girl like Julie Bishop. Well, you're an unusual team. I wish I could talk at greater length, but the time has come for you to earn some greenbacks. I know you desperately need this money. I presume you both know how to play the rules of You Bet Your Life.
In the race for the $2,500, the first couple won $440, and the secret word is street.
General information. Say, that's you, general information, isn't it?
About $90.
$90, huh? All right. According to the Bible, the races of mankind sprang from three brothers, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Who was their father? See if the general's been doing his homework.
Who are those people again, Russell?
Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Japheth. Who was their father? You don't know, guess. Well, it was Noah. But if it makes you feel any better, General, I didn't know it either.
I'll guarantee I didn't.
Well,
You have half your $100. You now have $50.
60? What do the initials USO stand for? And I want the exact words. USO.
United Service Organization?
That is right, Edie. That is right.
You now have $110.
Hey, she's pretty good, huh?
Very good. Better now.
Okay, what are you going to go for?
She says try 100.
100. All right. What is the capital of the state of Nevada?
We think Tonopah.
No. You'll have to fly over Nevada sometime, General, huh? It's Carson City.
You now have $55.
That's a tricky question. Everybody says Reno. Everybody that's divorced says Reno. Everybody gets wiped out says Las Vegas. What are you going to go with? 80? 70? 80? 50? 40? 80. In order to protect a trademark, it must be registered with what United States government office?
United States Patent Office.
Never a truer word has been said. Patent office is right.
You now have $145, and that's your score.
Well, thanks and Merry Christmas from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Thank you, Ralph.
Groucho, we have a young married couple for you, Mr. and Mrs. Arnie Wallstrom. Folks, would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and take home an extra $101. It's a common word, something you see every day. Mr. and Mrs. Waldenstrom. And Mr. Waldenstrom, I noticed on this card that there are two little dots over your name. What is that for? Is that to confuse the police?
No, it's umlaut on the O. In Sweden, you pronounce the name Waldenström.
Waldenstrom?
Waldenström, yes.
Oh, I see. Well, where is your home, Mr. Waldenstrom?
In Sweden, Stockholm.
Oh. You're Mrs. Waldenstrom.
Yes.
Huh? What is your first name? We like to get as informal as quickly as possible here.
Aggie.
Aggie, eh?
Yes.
Oh. Well, is that a Swedish name, Aggie?
No, that's a Hungarian name, but when I went to Sweden, that was a Swedish name.
Oh, you're Hungarish, huh?
I am Hungarian. No,
Oh.
in this case, it's Hungarian name, but here in the States, they have Agnes and Aggie.
He's a Svenska and you're a Hungarian.
Yes.
Well, where do you live, Aggie? In Hungary or Sweden?
No, in San Pedro.
Well, is that in Sweden or Hungary, huh?
No, it's Los Angeles Harbor.
Oh, you live in the harbor, huh?
Yes.
I don't know whether I'm getting Hungarian goulash or smorgasbord. Arnie, what are you doing in San Pedro? Are you running from the police in Sweden?
Oh, no, I'm the head of the Swedish Maritime Division in San Pedro.
Well, you're a diplomat? Is that what you mean? Well, what do you do at San Pedro? See that no Norwegian sardines swim into the harbor?
No, I take care of the Swedish vessels and Swedish seamen and issue seamen's passport for them.
Oh, don't you have to know a lot of languages to be a diplomat, Arnie? How many languages do you know?
About, I don't know, English, German, French, Spanish, and then Swedish, of course.
Well, could you say something in all these languages? Say something about me in Swedish, Norwegian, Danish, French, Spanish, and German.
Jag har ett underligt ansikte. In Swedish, in Spanish, una cara extraordinaria. And then in German, se llama ein besonderes Gesicht.
I've just been insulted in 6 different languages. Now, what did you actually say?
You have an unusual face.
I have a fruitful face?
Unusual face.
Unusual?
Yes.
That certainly farthest north in compliments of the year.
May I say a few words?
You, well,
May I,
yeah,
Mr.
remember,
Mark?
you're a
May
wife,
I?
and just say a
Yes,
few.
may I? Table, trees, sky, money, hand, car, ball. Didn't I it? I'm sorry.
You know, in Hungary, you know, they say how you make an omelet in Hungarian. Hungary, they say, first you steal 2 eggs. That's the first thing. And somebody once said, if you have a Hungarian for a friend, you don't need any enemies. And this is living proof of what I've just been talking about. Here's a woman had the effrontery to name 8 different secret words and fortunately didn't hit it. Well, how do you like being an American housewife? What do you think of our electric garbage disposals, automatic dishwashers, and all the American gadgets that we have today?
They are great. They are wonderful. But he wouldn't let me buy those things because, you know, he wants to pay everything with cash.
Cash?
I like to pay for credit as the American people does. I mean, you buy and then you pay. But with him, that's impossible. Just cash.
Arnie, is this true? You want to buy everything up for cash?
Not everything, but more or less.
That's un-American, Arnie. You keep that up and you'll pauperize the entire American economy. It's a lucky thing you have diplomatic immunity. You know, you could get thrown in jail for wanting to pay cash. After you're here longer, you'll realize that in this country, nobody lives within their means. Arnie, Sweden is a democracy like ours, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, don't you have a king there, too?
Yes, sure, yeah.
Well, do you have elections? Who's running for king this year?
We have a permanent one.
You have what?
A permanent king.
A permanent king?
Yeah.
You know, 1956 is a big election year in this country. What is your biggest election?
We just had an election about driving, if the people wanted to drive on the left side or on the right side.
That's what the whole election was about?
Yeah.
Well, who was running? Just the automobiles, huh? Why don't they just drive on both sides like they do in Los Angeles? Well, you're a very nice and attractive couple, and you're a credit to both countries. 3 countries.
Thank you.
United States, Hungary, and Sweden.
Thank you very much.
And I'd like to go on talking to you, too, but the time has come for you to win some money, which means play You Bet Your Life.
Yes. Please, Mr. Mark.
Yes.
Give the question slowly.
Slowly?
It is possible.
Okay, I'll take about 20 minutes with each one.
Yeah,
huh?
that's it.
I presume you both understand the rules, huh?
Yes.
In the race for the $2,500, the first couple still leads with $440.
I'll give you a brief synopsis of some of the most famous movies of all time, and you give me the title of the movie. I imagine most of these played in Europe. Some of these go quite a way back, and remember, the more the questions voice, the tougher it is. Now, you can start with 10, 20, all the way to 100, and one answer between you.
Yeah, the boss.
The boss?
Yeah.
Now it comes out.
Yeah. Only here.
70.
All right, in 1943, Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman made a picture centering around a cafe in French Morocco. What was the name of this picture?
Casablanca.
That is right, Casablanca.
You now have $170.
Now, suppose she'd said some other picture, and then you'd lost the money, see? So we want one answer. Now, what do you want to go for? 80, 50, 100?
Oh, 60.
60? Is that satisfying?
That's okay.
Well, Ingrid Bergman and Charles Boyer starred in a movie about a man who tried to drive his wife insane. What picture was it?
No, that.
They're married, all right. If there's any doubt about it, I just found out definitely. What's the answer? Come on, take a guess if you don't know.
The Art of Triumph.
Huh? What did you say?
The Art of Triumph.
No, it was Gaslight.
Yes.
Gaslight.
They now have $85.
You now have $85. Now, what do you want to go for? 80, 90, 60? 60 you have. 50. Audrey Hepburn and Gregory Peck made a picture about a princess and a newspaper man. What was the name of it?
Holiday Romance.
Well,
Romaine Holiday.
Romaine Holiday. It's a salad. But
And you now have $135.
I had that at a nightclub. Holiday Romaine. It's very good. With Hungarian dressing. Now what are you going to go for?
40.
40?
Yes.
Gloria Swanson made a movie about a silent picture star who fell in love with a young screenwriter. What was the name of this picture?
Sunset Boulevard.
Sunset Boulevard is right. Don't go any further.
You wind up with $175.
Well, thanks, and a Merry Christmas from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That means that Dr. Giovanni and Mr. Klein, with $440, get the chance at the $2,500 question. The delightful, lovely DeSoto for 1956 has made such a tremendous hit with so many people that sales have doubled last year. Well, that does more than just make us happy. It makes it possible for your DeSoto Plymouth dealer to offer you an exceptional price deal right now on the DeSoto model of your choice. It means that right now, within your budget, you can move up to the greatest car in the medium price field, the 56 DeSoto. And that's a real thrill, because DeSoto compares with the cars priced $2,000 higher. Just compare DeSoto's daring flight sweep styling, sensational new push-button driving, full-time power steering, power brakes. Compare these fabulous DeSoto features with those of the most expensive cars. Then you'll know why DeSoto is your best buy for 1956. Tomorrow, drive and price a DeSoto before you decide. And remember, for the greatest family Christmas gift possible, give a new 1956 DeSoto.
You'll understand the reasons why. For once you drive it, you want to buy. It's delightful, it's the lovely, it's the
Groucho, here are Dr. Giovanni and Mr. Klein, all set for the $2,500 question. Right in here, gentlemen.
I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer. Think carefully and please no help from the audience. Ready? The Harding administration was embarrassed by a scandal involving the unauthorized use of naval oil reserves. It was one of the biggest cases of its kind in our history. For $2,500, what was this scandal called? Talk it over. What is the answer you two have decided upon?
Teapot Dome.
That's absolutely right, Teapot Dome. So you win $2,500 plus how much in the quiz, George?
$440 in the quiz.
That's $2,940. What are you going to do with all that money?
I'm going to buy a hearing aid.
A hearing aid, huh?
Hearing aid.
Well, congratulations and Merry Christmas from the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. You bet your life.
Thank you.
sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $1,000. Don't miss the Chrysler Corporation's big TV show on another network. And don't forget Groucho's television show, brought to you by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America, who invite you to visit your neighborhood showroom tomorrow to see and drive the delightful, the lovely DeSoto for 1956.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, it's delightful, it's the lovely, it's DeSoto.
Here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Remember the motto: if you drive, don't drink. If you drink, don't drive. Obey its warning. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell. Directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jack Meakin. This is George Fenneman signing off for the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. You Bet Your Life is heard by our armed forces throughout the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is table. T-A-B-L-E.
Really?
You bet your life. It's Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood and brought to you by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America, who invite you to see and drive the delightful, the lovely DeSoto for 1956.
The time has come, it's very clear. The car you wanted is really here. It's delightful, it's the lovely, it's DeSoto. You'll understand the reasons why. For once you drive it, you want to buy. It's delightful, it's the lovely, it's DeSoto.
And now, here he is, the one, the only...
Well, here I am again with $1,000 for one of our couplets. Is that right?
That's probably the French pronunciation.
Oh, well, what is it?
Couples.
Oh, couple. George, who's first on the agenda?
Well, Mrs. Pearl...
Is that right, agenda?
Agenda, yes.
What does that mean?
List.
I've got a little agenda from Gilbert and Sullivan, would you say that? Someday it may happen that a victim must be found. I've got a little agenda. That doesn't make sense.
No.
List.
A roster.
Oh, a roster. Mm-hmm. Well, that's isn't that a male chicken, a roster? You know, Franz Liszt, when he was born, that's what his mother was saying. I've got a little list. I've got a little list.
Mrs. Pearl Runyon and Mr. Charles Pierce are waiting to talk to you, Groucho. Folks, you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers. Say the secret word, and you each take home an extra $50.50. It's a common word, something you would normally find around the house. Now, let's see. Pearl Onion and Charles Pierce. Pearl, I'll start with you. Where are you from?
From the great state of Kentucky, Groucho. Born in Belfry,
Some
Pike County,
moonshiners out
Kentucky.
front, I think. What was that again? Give me that.
I was born in Belfry, Pike County, Kentucky.
Pike County, Kentucky, huh?
Yes, sir.
Are you married?
I'm single, Groucho.
You're single, Groucho, huh? Well, that's certainly a new state of matrimony. What sort of business are you in?
Well, I'm in politics.
Are you a Democrat or a Republican?
Oh, I'm a Democrat.
In that case, there they are, the same moonshiners applauding. How long have you been in Kentucky politics, Pearl?
Well, I have held office 22 years.
What is your job in state politics?
Well, presently, I am state treasurer of Kentucky.
State treasurer? What are you doing this far west? Are you skipping to the South Seas?
Well,
Pearl, forget those mad plans and fly with me to Alaska. We'll have a little love nest made of $10 bills. What are you doing in Hollywood, Pearl?
Well, one of the things, I have been asked to commission you a Kentucky colonel by Governor Lawrence Weatherby, Groucho.
Me, a colonel?
While visiting here in Hollywood, yes.
Isn't a colonel the inside of a nut? Why me? What have I done for Kentucky other than staying out of the state?
Oh, well, you've given a lot of people a great deal of pleasure in Kentucky by your program.
By the program. Will this give me any special privileges if I should come to Louisville or Lexington or Frankfurt? Or, well, what are we waiting for? Let's get busy on that state treasury, huh? Your name is, Charles Pierce, huh?
Yes, sir.
Are you one of the Pierce brothers?
No, I'm not one.
You're not. You know who the Pierce brothers are?
Yeah, they were the Undertakers.
Well, they still are, I imagine. It's not a dead issue yet, you know.
Not the same line of business. I correct people's health and make them look younger.
I see.
Even they get old.
Oh, well, that's very... How old are you, Charlie?
89.
89? Are you proud of your age?
Yeah, indeed.
Well, I guess
having
you should.
fine health.
I guess you should be, huh? 89 is an age to really be proud of. That's the difference between a man and a woman. If a woman were 89, she'd say she was 56 and be ashamed of it. Why did you come to Hollywood, Charlie? Were you sick of fresh air?
No. I came here for my health.
You came for your health? What an optimist, huh? Obviously, you don't know much about California. How long have you been here?
55 years.
Well, that's a great tribute to our climate. You must have been living in an airtight jar for the last 55 years. Well, anyway, I presume you're both familiar with this game, huh?
Yeah.
We start you off with $100, and if you miss a question, you lose half of your bankroll. And we only want one answer between you on the answers. Now, you selected American history. And remember, the more the question is worth, the harder it is.
70.
$70. From what country did the United States originally obtain the Philippine Islands?
Spain.
Spain is right.
You now have $170.
Now what are you going to go for?
80.
$80. President Jefferson bought some land from Napoleon that eventually became Arkansas, Iowa, Kansas, Nebraska, and parts of 9 other states. What was this important acquisition called?
Louisiana Purchase.
Louisiana Purchase is right.
You now have $250.
What do you want to try now? Little one or a big one? 90. In 1801, one of the Barbary states declared war on the United States for refusing to pay tribute to their pirates. What Barbary state was this? One answer now. What was the name of the Barbary state?
Spain?
No, it was Tripoli.
You lost half your $250. You will now have $125.
All right, you're still in good shape.
Shall we say 100?
100? 50? Or 100? The first direct tax levied by England on her American colonies was a tax on newspapers, almanacs, pamphlets, and legal documents. What was this objectionable act called?
The Tea Act, embargo on tea in the Massachusetts.
Give us an answer.
Tea.
No, I'm sorry, Charlie. You were flirting with her, but it was the Stamp Act. They dumped the tea in the harbor, but this was the Stamp Act.
You wind up with $62.50.
Well, I'm sorry you didn't win more. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Thank you.
And a Happy New Year.
A penny saved is a penny earned. Well, that's something to remember today when you're about to buy a new automobile. You don't want to waste money. You want to get the most for every penny you spend. That's why we dare you to compare the medium-priced DeSoto with cars priced $2,000 higher. We want you to compare every DeSoto feature with the most expensive cars and see for yourself how much more value you get in a new DeSoto for so much less in cost. Compare DeSoto's tremendous power, thrilling flight sweep styling, sensational push-button driving, full-time power steering and power brakes with any car on the road. We're sure you'll be as enthusiastic as we are in saying DeSoto is your best buy for 1956. And right now, because of DeSoto's record-breaking sales, you can get a terrific price deal at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Tomorrow, compare DeSoto with cars priced $2,000 higher. Drive and price a DeSoto before you decide.
You'll understand the reasons why. For once you drive it, you'll want to buy. It's delightful, it's the lovely, it's the
Groucho, we have a young married couple for you now. They're Mr. and Mrs. Horn. So, folks, would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to Your Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and take home an extra $101. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Mr. and Mrs. Victor Horn, eh? Victor, what kind of a name is Horn?
Well, it was originally Dutch. It was Van Horn.
Oh.
They cut off the Van.
I see.
Makes it English now.
I see. You're an English horn, huh? That's something like a French horn. No, I guess it's more like an oboe, isn't it?
Noise, I think.
What is your first name? Louis Armstrong?
It's Lorraine Horn.
Lorraine, eh? Sweet Lorraine, is that you?
Well, I don't know. I think I'm in a position to say.
Okay, that's a very nice position you're in. Do you call her Sweet Lorraine now?
No, I never call her Sweet Lorraine. But she's sweet in any case.
Yes, sure, she looks sweet. That's a fairly marked accent, Lorraine. Are you from the South?
Yes, from Johannesburg, South Africa.
Johannesburg? Well, you see, I could tell you were from the South. Just happened to be South Africa, that's all. How old are you, Victor?
I'm 24 years old.
Lorraine, would you mind telling us your age?
I'm 24 years old.
24, How long have you two been married?
16
Laurie?
months.
How much?
16
months?
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell us how you met this dish, Mr. Horn?
Yes. I was invited to a party to a mutual friend of ours, and that's where I met her, at the party.
Well, you went there without a girl?
Yes, I went there with the intention of picking up a dish. But,
What, were you a waiter?
No. I was a fireman at the time.
You were a fireman? You climbed in the window and met her?
No, I was invited.
Oh. What are you and Vic doing here in California?
We started out on an extended honeymoon.
On a honeymoon?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the idea is there's about 3 men to every woman back home, so the only thing I could do was pack her up and take her out of the country.
You say that there are 3 men for each girl?
Approximately, yes.
You hear that, all you single girls out front? There's a boat leaves for South Africa in about 30 minutes. Well, would you say the percentage was the other way in this country?
Well, according to statistics we have read, it's about 3 women to every man.
In this country?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some miser is holding out on my quota. All right, well, let's play You Bet Your Life and see how much you can win.
In the race for the $1,000, the first couple won $62.50, and the secret word is table.
Did anybody explain the rules to you?
Yes, I'm thinking.
And if you must go back to South Africa, I hope you leave Larry here. You selected the dictionary quiz, and remember, the more the question is worth, the harder it is. Don't you think she's pretty?
I certainly do, yeah.
Well, look at her.
I've been looking at her out there.
You can admire her hair, too, you know. Despite the fact that you're married, I'm sure your wife couldn't object to that. You're allowed to look at girls, aren't you?
Well, this is the part of the show she sees, though, when I'm out here, you see.
I see. This is where you're cagey, is that it?
Up until now, yes.
Would you be offended if Laurie kissed Mr. Penniman?
Well, yes, I think I would.
I guess.
Well, I just meant a kind of a brotherly brush on the cheek. I didn't mean a...
It's these brothers I took her away from back in South Africa.
Well, George, give me the dollar you promised me, then. Come on now.
Nobody will believe me now.
Don't say I didn't try, George.
You certainly have.
Boy, I never worked harder in my life for a dollar that I didn't get, huh? All right, one answer between you on every question. Now, what do you want to start with?
$70.
$70, huh? What is legerdemain? Legerdemain. Legerdemain. Talk it over.
Heard it.
How do you spell it again?
I doubt if I could, but it's Legerdemain. Legerdemain.
It sounds like something legal.
No, it's sleight of hand, magic. It's a very common word.
Well, you still have $50.
Now, what are you going to go for? 60, 80,
Well,
90,
make
40?
60,
60?
yeah.
What is another name for a merry-go-round?
Carousel.
That's right, carousel or whirly-gig.
You now have $110.
All right. What do you want to try now?
Okay, let's go.
How much? 80?
80.
All right. What do you call the V-shaped tray or trough used to carry mortar or bricks?
Trestle, is it? Trowel.
To carry mortar or bricks? V-shaped. Well, it's hod. H-O-D.
Oh,
You never hear of a hod carrier?
You now have $55.
Well, you still have another chance. What do you want to try?
I think we make it high 90.
90?
Yeah, okay.
All right. If a philatelist collects stamps, what does a numismatist collect?
That sounds...
Well, it sounds like coins. But...
It is right, coins. Don't go any further.
And you wind up with $145.
We want you to certainly get as far as Burbank. Thanks and happy New Year from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. I'm sorry you wouldn't kiss George.
Oh, Groucho, Mrs. Verna White and Mr. Eugene Mariani are waiting to talk to you. So, folks, would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and you'll divide $101. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Verna White and Eugene Mariani, eh? Verna, I'll start with you. Where are you from?
Well, I was born in Chicago, the north side of Chicago.
That's those bootleggers again out there. Huh? You were born in Chicago?
Uh-huh.
Why did you come to California, Verna? Did you fall for all that double talk from the Chamber of Commerce?
Well, I thought the rooms would be large, and it would be a chance for us to manufacture our large king-size beds.
Now, just a moment. You think the rooms are larger here than they are in Chicago?
I think so.
Why? How did you arrive at that conclusion?
I think there's more space here.
Well, you mean in the home or in the street or where?
All over.
All over.
Uh-huh.
All over the street. Huh? Well, what kind of beds do you make?
Well, we own White and Pebbly Company. We're manufacturers of the large king-size beds.
You make a living making king-size beds?
All different.
That's rather a
custom
limited
beds.
field, isn't it? How many kings are there left? Why don't you just try making ex-king-size beds? One bed big enough for Farouk would set you up for life. What is the difference between a king-size bed and an ordinary run-of-the-mill bed that we peasants sleep in?
Well, the full-size, regular full-size bed is 54 inches wide and 70 inches long, and the king size is 6 foot wide and 7 foot long.
You know, with a bed that size, I'd be exhausted just crawling to the edge to put my slippers on. What are some of the unusual beds you've constructed, Verna?
Oh, we've made round beds, oval beds.
Is that for squares?
I guess so. We've made beds with toasters in them and hi-fis and TVs built in and come up.
You have a toaster in the bed?
And then we made a piano-shaped bed for Liberace.
Liberace? Who is Liberace?
He plays the piano. He's a marvelous artist.
Plays piano in bed? I don't understand this. Where does he play this piano?
I don't know. All over, everywhere.
All over the bed he plays a piano? Your beds are certainly complete. You've got everything in there except a mattress.
We have the mattress, too.
Well, Viner, you crawl into one of your creations and take a nap while I get acquainted with your partner here, huh? Your name is Eugenie Mariani?
Yes, sir, Groucho.
Eugenie, eh?
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty fancy moniker you've got there, isn't it, huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, Groucho, I usually go under the name of Gypsy Jean, is what I'm referred to.
Gypsy Jean?
Yes, sir.
Well, what is this based on?
Well, being a gypsy all these 20 years that I've been living this life, that's why I call myself Gypsy Jean.
Mm-hmm. You sound more like Pinky Lee. What kind of a job have you got, Gene?
Oh, right now I'm just working for parking lot attendant and an entertainer.
Parking lot attendant and entertainer, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a peculiar combination, isn't it? Well, what do? Do you entertain in parking lots?
No, right now I am the mayor of Muscle Beach.
Oh. Well, you must spend a lot of time sleeping if you're a mayor, aren't you?
Yes.
Would you be interested in a private king-size bed?
Yes, Groucho. Well, I have the whole beach, and I have the stars above to sleep in.
You have the stars above, huh?
Yeah, to look at.
That may be true, but her beds over here have TV sets, hi-fi, coffee makers, and toasters. What has your bed got?
Grunions, Groucho.
I can't argue with that, Gene. It's one thing I've always wanted to do, go grunion hunting in bed. Well, and you're one of Southern California's nature boys, huh, Gene?
Yes, sir, Groucho, I am.
We had a nature boy on our show last year. I don't know whether you saw him.
Yeah, I know. He's my buddy.
Oh. He said he slept out in the open and just ate nuts and berries. Is that what you do, eat berries and nuts?
Groucho, I eat grass and drink grass juice.
Well, how many quarts do you give a day, huh?
And I eat kelp and make kelp salads and raw fish.
Raw fish, huh?
That's right, I got it.
That sounds terrible unless you happen to be a garbage disposal. Well, Eugenie, I've never tried a seaweed salad. I always order a seaweed sandwich when I go into one of those beach places. You're fairly normal for a nature boy, Eugene.
Thanks, Groucho. Compliments.
Well, you know, I always thought you fellas wore a bushy beard and then sandals. Isn't that standard outfit for a nature boy?
Yeah, but now I'm civilized, Groucho, and some girl got into my life and made me civilized.
You've fallen in love?
Well, yeah, that's what you call it.
What a shame. Just when you were enjoying life. Well, two can live as cheaply as one. Especially if you're eating seaweed salads. Just cut down on the mayonnaise, that's all. Well, we're going to play You Bet Your Life. You both know how to play this game?
Yes, sir.
In the race for the $1,000, the second couple is leading with $145.
Now, you selected the musical category. These are all top tunes of the last 20 years. Remember, the more the question's worth, the harder it is. Now, you can start with 10, 20, all the way up to 100. What are you going to start with?
100.
100? All right, Burke and Van Heusen composed this song in 1940. Give me the title of it. Okay, Jack.
Sorry, Groucho. I don't think I know that one.
Well, I don't know it either, but it's imagination. Well, that's a difficult question, but that's a lot of money, Gene.
I know.
Well, you still have $50.
Okay, sir.
All right. Now, what do you want to try this time? 90? 80?
80.
Easy? Easy ones?
Okay, 90.
In 1939, Hoagie Carmichael turned out this ballad. Let's see if you can identify it. Play it, Jack. Talk it over.
Oh, I'm sorry, Groucho. It's my fault. No.
Well, I'm sorry, but this isn't too hard. I get along without you very well.
You now have $25.
$25.
Now, this song, what are you going to go for? 80?
What do you want this for?
Go on, you're dead anyhow. You might just well go for 80.
Yeah.
All
right, 80. All right, 80.
All right, this song was popular in the early part of 55. Now, this is real current. Now, you ought to know this.
No.
Give me the title of it.
I should know.
One of you should know it. I'll have to get him a song of 1956, I guess.
I'm sorry, Groucho.
Well, it's sincerely.
Sincerely.
You now have $12.50.
Well, let it go.
Well, might just well go for 70, I guess.
Okay.
You're sunk anyhow. Bob Wills wrote this Western song that was popular a few years ago. You give me the name of it. Okay, Jack.
I know it, Groucho. No.
No, I'm sorry. It's San Antonio Road.
You wind up with $6.25.
Eugene?
I'm sorry.
I'm going to give you one question. You get it right, and we bring your winnings up to $25. Are you ready? What color was the old gray mare?
Green.
Green is right. Give him the money. Thanks, and a Happy New Year for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. I'm sorry you didn't win that. We have a nice dance.
And that means that Mr. and Mrs. Horn with $145 in just 1 minute get the chance at the $1,000 question. And here's the winning couple, Groucho, Mr. and Mrs. Horn, all set for the $1,000 question.
Wow, here they are, back from Africa. Huh? Here we go for $1,000. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully and please no help from the audience. For almost 600 years, the Turks ruled a vast empire that was broken up at the end of the First World War. For $1,000, what was this Turkish empire called? Talk it over. If you don't know, guess.
Tunisia?
No, it's the Ottoman Empire. I'm sorry. So that means the big question next week will be worth $1,500. Well, they lost the big money. How much they win the quiz, George?
$145 in the quiz.
Well, I'm sorry you didn't win more. Congratulations and Happy New Year to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
Thank you.
That was a tough question.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $1,500. Don't miss the Chrysler Corporation's big TV show on another network. And don't forget Groucho's television show, brought to you by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America, who invite you to visit your neighborhood showroom tomorrow to see and drive the delightful, lovely DeSoto for 1956.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember... It's delightful, it's the lovely, it's DeSoto.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Watch for ice patches on seemingly dry pavements, especially around curves, beyond hill crests, on bridges, and in shaded spots. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell. Directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jack Meekin. This is George Fenneman signing off for the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. You Bet Your Life is heard by our armed forces throughout the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word is chair. C-H-A-I-R.
Really?
You Bet Your Life. It's Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood and brought to you by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America, who invite you to see and drive the most exciting car in the world today, DeSoto for 1957.
The most exciting car today is now delighting the far highway. It's the lovely, it's the Namic, it's the DeSoto. Exciting style to please the eye, exciting power to pass them by. It's the lovely, it's the Namic, it's the DeSoto.
And now, the one, the only...
Well, here I am again with a chance for each of our couples to win $2,000. And it's even possible somebody might walk out of here with $10,000.
Well, Groucho, before I introduce the first couple, I'd like to say that the charming lady from Tusa, Italy, Bettina Consolo, is here again tonight, and she'll be out here later in the show to see what kind of a plot you've cooked up for her.
Good work, George. And since she's a good cook, I trust she has something cooked up for me, too.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised if she has. Right now, though, I'd like you to meet our first contestants. They're Carol Yost and Emmanuel Klein. So, folks, you go in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to Your Bet Your Life. Say the secret word, and you each get an extra $50. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Carol Jost and Emmanuel Klein, eh? That's a pretty fancy first name. Well, they always say age before beauty, so who will I talk to first? What do you think? Carol, how old are you?
29.
29. And Mr. Klein, what is your age?
77.
Oh, well, you're a fine-looking lad for 77. Should I call you Emmanuel, or do you have a nickname?
Uncle Manny, I'm called by most everyone.
Uncle Manny?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh. Uncle Nanny or Uncle Manny?
Manny.
Oh, I thought perhaps you were a goat.
Oh. I think you're trying to get my goat here. Huh? Okay, we're right there.
I don't know what I would do with your goat if I had it, Manny.
Well, you might be kidding me.
Oh. Oh, say, you're pretty sharp there, aren't you, huh? Where are you from, Manny?
I was born in Cincinnati, Ohio, February the 15th, 1880.
1880, huh? Now, Carol, where are you from?
I'm from Getty, South Dakota. Then we moved to Pekin, Illinois, and finally settled in Los Angeles.
Oh, you're married, I assume, huh?
Yes, I am.
How did you meet your husband, then?
Well, he was in with the young group that my aunt was in. They were all sort of dating together, and she took me down to the little cafe where they always met, introduced me to him, and he swung around on the stool and smiled at me, and I just went overboard about him.
You went overboard? Was this on a boat?
No.
Well, you sound like you were really sold on this fellow, huh?
Oh, I was.
Are you just as mad about him today as you were then?
Well, it's pretty hard to be mad about anybody after 11 years, especially after you hear him snoring.
Would you like to cure him of snoring?
I certainly would.
Well, have you tried holding his head underwater for about 12 hours? You know, we had a woman on the show one time who had a cure for snoring, and it really worked.
Oh, what was
Would
that?
you be interested in hearing?
I'd love to hear it.
She said when her husband went to bed at night, she strapped an orange in the middle of his back, and every time he rolled over and started to snore, he felt this orange, and he was uncomfortable, and he'd roll back on his stomach again. And a friend of mine tried that on her husband, and at the end of a year, her husband was still snoring. But she had 112 gallons of orange juice. You believe this, Manny?
I believe it.
Tell
us another.
Huh?
Tell us another.
Are you implying that I'm lying, Manny?
No, sir, no. Just stretching the truth, that's all.
You know, we have a quiz later where it's conceivable that you might win some money.
Well, I hope
but
so.
If you're kind of going to have this kind of a skeptical attitude about these things I say, you haven't got a chance up here.
I know.
I want you to remember that, because I'm just as crooked as you are. Are you retired?
No, sir, I'm in business for myself. I've been in business for myself all my life, excepting 5 years. I'm in the antique business.
You're in the antique business?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you have any other interests aside from antiques?
Yes, I happen to be a jingle advertising man.
Oh.
I took that up 7 years ago with a 5th grade education, and I'm not afraid to say I'll challenge anyone in the country, regardless of their education, to beat me for speed and originality.
You write jingles for
I do.
Advertising? And in spite of that, you've lived 77 years?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, what kind of customers do you have for your advertising
Why,
jingles?
mostly professional people. I write a little advertising jingles. As a matter of fact, if you'd like, I'd be glad to write you one right now.
Well, I'm not that eager, but could you give us an example of a jingle that increased somebody's business?
Yes, sir. Well, the first one I wrote was for a plumber. I do not write any fiction. Everything I'm repeating is I don't have to remember because it's the truth.
Is this the poem?
Yes, sir.
Oh, well, that doesn't rhyme, what you just said.
Well, just a minute now. Just a minute, boy. After all, I'm older than you are. You got to respect me for my age. Now, just a minute. The first one is read like this here. If your plumbing
It isn't often we get anybody on the show that can say that.
If your plumbing is bad and you looked all over town...
Now, pardon me. This is the poem now
This
coming.
is the poem, yes, sir.
I'd like a little warning about this.
All right, okay, sir. If your plumbing is bad and you looked all over town, take up your receiver and phone L.Z. Brown. Now, if you like the
You know, that jingle sort of fits a plumber.
Oh, sure.
It even gives me a wrench, that thing. Carol, what do you think of Edgar Allan Klein here, the Jingle King?
Well, it's all right, but I think maybe I'm just a little bit overly critical. I write verse myself.
You're a poet, too? Manny, run for your life. Well, this is surely more than just a coincidence. It's a calamity. Is that why Fenneman teamed you two together, because you're both poets?
I guess so.
Oh. Well, Carol, do you ever get paid for your poems, or is yours free verse?
No, I write for the Los Angeles Mirror News. They're in 3 times a week.
Oh, well, that's very impressive.
And now they're being syndicated by the Mirror Enterprises Syndicate around the world.
Do you phone them in the morning and say the verse is yet to come? Well, it's like Shakespeare said, Carol. If you've time on your hands and your poetry's fine, pick up the receiver and phone Mr. Klein. What do you write about, Carol?
Well, I write about the children and my husband.
You have children?
Yes, and my husband, myself, and it's...
And is that enough to keep... to write 3 poems a week just about your immediate family?
Yes, and it's...
Don't you require more children?
No, I think that's enough. And,
Could you give us one about your husband?
Well, most of my favorites are a little insulting to my husband, so I'll pick out another one.
All right, pick one out that isn't too drastic.
I like Knighthood in Flower.
Oh, so do I, but give us the poem anyhow, huh?
He's lost a lot of gallantries he used in courting days, like opening a door for me or helping in small ways. Now, when I go out to the car, I find he's gone before and settled down behind the wheel while I close my own door. When we were wed, he said, no more would I do things alone. I never knew he meant to build me muscles of my own.
Well, that was very good, Carol. You say he always gets in the car ahead of you?
Well, after 11 years.
Yes. Well, no. That isn't a lack of gallantry, Carol.
No, but
he does it for a very good reason. He's probably seen you drive, and he wants to get to the wheel first. Now, I'd like to continue this, but we've got to get down to the serious business, which is winning money. We're going to play You Bet Your Life. You selected the dictionary quiz. Are you very good at this, Manny?
Well, fairly good.
I'll ask you some questions. If you miss 2 in a row, you're out. If you get 4 in a row right, you win $1,000. Could you give us a short poem, George?
No, I don't think I could.
What about, the dog stood on the railroad track. He didn't hear the whistle. Toot, toot, sausages. How's that?
Wonderful.
We used to use that in our school act about 35 years ago. Now remember, one answer between you. That's the main thing. If you get 4 in a row right, you win $1,000. Yeah. What is a cartographer, I guess? C-A-R-T-O-G-R-A-P-H. Map maker. Omar the map maker. You don't have to go any further.
You have 1 right, 3 more right, and you'll have $1,000.
What is a lapidary?
One that cuts stones.
Did you discuss this with her? It's right, but you see how dangerous this is? She might have said something else. She might have said a lapidary is where a secretary sits. While she's milking a cow, it's a lapidary.
You have 2 right now. You're halfway to $1,000.
All right, now, talk it over now. What is an anchorite? A-N-C-H-O-R-I-T-E. A-N-C-H-O-R-I-T-E.
And T-H or C-H?
A-N-C-H-O-R-I-T-E.
I'm afraid we don't know.
Well, it's a hermit or a recluse.
Well, you have 1 wrong now. Don't get the next one wrong, or you're out of the game.
All right, what does salubrious mean? S-A-L-U-B-R-I-O-U-S.
S-A-L, what's that?
Salubrious.
U-B-R-I-O-U-S.
Happy and healthy.
That's close enough. Healthy or wholesome is right.
Well, you're back on the right track. You have 1 right now.
What's the word for a trench usually filled with water that you find around an old castle?
Moat.
Moat is right. Manny, Moat, and Jack.
2 more right, you'll have $1,000.
What is a samovar?
It's a Russian teapot.
A Russian teapot is right.
1 more right, and you'll have your $1,000.
Work.
Yes?
Yes, it is. And it's hardly worth it, huh? All right, what is the word for the sash or band that men wear instead of a vest?
A cummerbund.
Cummerbund is right.
And you got 4 in a row, and you have $1,000.
Well, we can't go Wait a minute now. Wait a minute.
Okay.
You won $1,000. You can keep it in quid, or you can come back later at the end of the show and try to double your money. You may even get a crack at $10,000. So go over there and think about it, and no matter what you decide to do, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, Groucho.
Now, Groucho, as we promised, our friend from last week, Bettina Consolo, is back here to see you again.
You mean she's been standing here since last week?
No, she came back again tonight because, remember, she'd promised to bring you a pizza pie.
Oh, a piece of pie, yeah.
Pizza pie.
Can you say that 3 times fast in a row?
Piece of pizza pie.
3 times in
Piece
a row.
of pizza pie, piece of pizza pie, piece of pizza pie. Would you come in? Are you here?
Yeah, look at this.
Hello, Groucho, how are you?
Looks like 2 bath mats. Are you sure this is a pizza?
That's a pizza.
Oh, well, it looks wonderful.
This has got
No.
a salsiccia italiana.
It's got a what?
Salsiccia italiana.
Oh, and what is this got?
And this mozzarella e anchovy, delle calecche, delle lilagnenze,
well, you-
and cheese,
Cheese, huh?
and a dog.
And a dog?
And a dog.
There's a dog inside of one of these.
Oh, no, it's a dog. Flower dog.
Oh, I thought you said a dog. I thought you
No.
meant a chow. Because we're going to have chow later. Now, well, you fooled me. I thought they were hubcaps.
Well, before you know, you gotta warm it up in the oven.
Well, thanks. It's just what I've always wanted, Bettina.
Nice glass of wine or glass of beer. They
Yeah.
go so just nice.
You supply the wine too, Bettina?
Yeah, I think it's the best. Make you a nice roasted chick.
George, I hate to have you do these kind of menial jobs. Would you put these in my dressing rooms?
I'd be very happy to.
And alight my physician, will you? I'm standing by. Well, Bettina, you know why we brought you back here. Have you found a husband yet? You know, last week you said you were looking for a man who had never been in jail.
Nobody yet.
You haven't found anybody?
No.
Well, I have a surprise for you. We have located a man for you.
Wonderful. Very nice.
I'm not so sure of that. Now, what do you think of that?
Well, I think that's a nice idea.
Well, don't get carried away now.
No.
I don't know how anxious he is to get married.
That's all right. We'll find out.
I don't know anything about him. All I know is he's not married.
That's it.
And even more important than that, he's still breathing.
Yeah.
George, will you send out the pigeon? I mean the bridegroom? Here he is. Here is your dream man. Welcome to You Bet Your Life.
That is good.
If you say the extra secret word, you get an extra $50. And a pizza pie. It's a common word, something you'll find around an Italian restaurant. Well, what is your name, sir?
Oreste Seragnoli.
Oreste Signorari?
Seragnoli.
Signorari, huh?
Seragnoli.
Selanori. Well, I'm Groucho Marx, and this little kid here is Bettina Consola.
I'm very glad to meet you.
Just call her Baby Doll.
Baby Doll.
Now, Bettina, take a look.
They look a very nice man.
Yeah. I think we should find out a few facts about him. Don't you think so? He may have a record a mile long.
That's right.
Now then, where are you from, Mr. Seragnoli?
I am
Norway?
from Bologna.
And you came from Bologna, Italy?
Not Bologna. Bologna.
Bologna, huh?
Yeah.
And you're not married?
No, never married in my life.
This doesn't seem like a very likely subject, does it? How old are you?
Well,
and if you feel like lying a little, don't hesitate. Huh?
No, I don't hesitate.
No, how old
I
are you?
am 73.
Oh, well, you're a very vigorous man for 73. Are you cheating a little, or is that the real story?
No, it's the truth.
The truth, huh? How old a man did you say you were looking for, Bettina?
Well, around 60 or 65.
65.
Mm-hmm.
It's too late for me then.
Bettina, we've got to prove to Oreste that you'd make a better wife than a lot of other women who are looking for husbands. In your opinion, what do other wives do wrong?
Oh, a lot of things, Groucho.
Well, what, for example?
A lot of things. So they don't know about to spend the money.
Bum housekeepers?
Yes, a bum housekeeper, and then stay on the phone all the day long, and they don't get about the house. Huh?
You stay on the phone all day?
Stay on the phone and talk to all the friends. What are they doing? Where are we going? What are we going to do tomorrow? What are we going to do tonight? And all the things, and talk, and the husband coming home in the night, and they find all the mess all over the place.
Bettina, you've certainly been in a lot of American homes. Now, suppose you were married to Orestes. Now, this is just a hypothetical case, you know.
All right.
I mean, this isn't a fact. We're just building this now.
Fine.
Now, suppose he came home late some night. Would you ask him where he'd been?
Oh, yes. That's the first thing I'm going to ask her. I want to know where they've been, why they're coming home late. If I wait all the day long in the home, cooking, clean the house, if everything is ready for my husband when they're coming home in the night,
well, what would
where
you
you
say?
been all the day? I
It's some friend of mine.
How is it you never got married, Orestes?
Well, I tell you the truth.
That isn't
I
necessary,
like to
but go
be
ahead.
free.
What's that?
See, I say why I like to be free, to go everywhere where I like, without asking my wife. And to anybody.
Bettina, would he have to ask you if he wanted to go out in the evening to the racetrack or something?
Well, and she says you want to be free. Let us stay free.
Well, Orestes, don't you want to have any children? Don't you like children?
I like it very much.
You like children?
Absolutely. I adore children. Plenty. But not mine.
Bettina, could you come back next week?
Sure, anytime.
We'll have another fellow. Now, Orestes is a nice fellow, but obviously he's not interested in you. He is a woman hater. He's a misanthrope.
No, I don't hate.
No, you're a misanthrope if I ever saw one.
I told
Isn't he a misanthrope, Bettina?
Yeah, I think it's all.
Well, let's see how smart Orestes is. He's going to play You Bet Your Life. Now, Bettina, how much did you win last week?
We went broke.
You didn't win anything?
No.
You went for broke?
Yeah.
Well, maybe Orestes can win something for you, and you help him whenever you can, huh? All right?
I hope so.
Okay, let's go
That's
now.
all.
You picked Royal Capitals. Are you good at this, Orestes?
Yes.
Now, we want one answer between you. Before you answer, you talk it over. I'm going to ask you some questions. If you miss 2 in a row, you're out. If you get 4 in a row right, you win $1,000. Ready? All right. What is the capital of Cuba?
Cuba?
Big city.
Cuba? Let's see. I know I wrote that. Cuba. Oh, okay. Havana.
That's right, Havana.
Have one right, 3 more right, and you'll have $1,000.
All right. What is the capital of Denmark?
Denmark, Copenhagen.
Copenhagen is right. Snuff said.
You're halfway to $1,000. 2 more right, and it's yours.
What is the capital of New Zealand? Well, it's Wellington. It was named after the Duke of Wellington, I believe.
You have another chance. You have one wrong now. Don't get the next one wrong, or you're out of the game.
What is the capital of Egypt?
Egypt,
Talk it over.
Egypt is, I know. It's, Alexandria?
No, I'm sorry. It's Cairo.
Cairo.
Well,
They lost, huh?
they're out of the game, yes.
I'm sorry you missed 2 in a row. We don't want you to go away broke, so I'm going to ask you one question for $100, okay? All right, what city is famous for Boston baked beans?
Italy.
That's right. Italy is right. Sorry you didn't win more. Arrivederci. Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
Very much. Thanks for being with us. You bet your life. And Bettina, you be sure to come back here next week.
And now, in just a moment, we'll find out if our first couple will try for a chance at the big money.
All right, George, bring out our first couple, and we'll find out what they're going to do.
All right, Carol Jost and Emmanuel Klein, you come back, please.
You won $1,000 so far. Now you have a chance to win a lot more. Maybe even $10,000, or you can stop right here and keep your $1,000. If you decide to try for the big money and fail, you wind up with a total of $500. Now, what are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to come back, not because I'm smart, but because I won't sleep if I don't.
Now, what about you, Uncle Manny?
Well, I'll tell you, I've made a vow, and I have no right to abuse that. I want to stay with my vow.
You don't want to jeopardize your money,
right,
is that it? Well, would you like to take a seat over there and see what happens?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I can tell you what's
Right
going to
here,
happen.
huh? Manny, you know you get $500. So you can sit quietly and rest with your conscience. Are you ready? Now, one answer between you. You know what this means now. You have a chance to win a lot more. If you fail, you wind up with a total of $250.
Mm-hmm. And I can't go home either.
There are many places you can go, Carol. Huh?
Okay.
Think of a number now between 1 and 10.
Sorry.
And take a number.
2.
2, and give it a swing. Not discouraged yet. Why?
Because this is too much pressure now.
Oh. Your number was 2, and it landed on 2. Oh. So this question is worth $5,000.
Oh, goodbye.
Your number was 2. Okay, now are you ready? Now, one answer between you.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone's read the stories of King Arthur and his round table.
Oh, no.
For $5,000, I want to know the legendary town where King Arthur held his court. Think about it. Wait a minute. What do you say?
It wasn't Camelot.
It certainly was Camelot. There goes the husband, the poetry, the 3 children, and everything, huh? Well, what are you going to do with that money?
Well, gosh, with 3 boys, our house is sort of busting at the seam. I think I'd like to make it a little bit bigger.
Well, that's wonderful. Congratulations for being with us. You bet your life.
Be sure to tune in again next week, same time, same station, for Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life. Don't miss the Chrysler Corporation's big TV show on another network. And don't forget Groucho's TV show, also brought to you by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America, who invite you to visit your neighborhood showroom today to see and drive the most exciting car in the world today, DeSoto for 1957.
And when you go in, tell them Groucho sent you. So long, folks, and remember... It's the lovely, it's dynamic, it's the Soto.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Don't jump the gun when the signal changes. Give the walkers a break. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell. Directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jack Meakin. This is George Fenneman signing off for the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. You Bet Your Life is heard by our armed forces throughout the world.
And the boys have to be 6'4" in their stocking feet.
Pretty gamey around there, isn't it?
And they make sure that they're that size too, because in the introductory dinner, well, they measure them, and they have
They measure them? What do they have, an undertaker there that they lie down and measure them?
No, they have a little stick that's called Little Joe, and you stand on it in your stocking feet. And you have a light on. The light goes out if you measure that correct height.
And if you don't, the He goes out, huh?
Well, a lot of times they stretch people. They, one time they
Was
held...
that a seventh-inning stretch, or just an stretch inning?
One time they put a girl over the balcony and they held her, so she...
They held her in the balcony? I held a girl once in the balcony, but I didn't stretch her. I just held her, that's all, until the usher threw us both out.
And she got in, too.
She got in the balcony?
No, she got in the club.
Well, is the club in the balcony? Don't you have a club downstairs?
No. The club is a social club.
Well, it's quite
With all
evident,
people. And we have lots of fun.
Stretching each other, huh?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Well, you sound like you and your husband make an ideal couple, Sylvia, and if I ever wind up sitting in back of you in a movie theater, I'm certainly going to ask for my money back. Your name is Ben Gazzara?
Who?
Ben Gazzara, is that it?
No, Ben Zeppo.
Ben Zeppo, eh? That's my brother, Zeppo. You're not my brother, are you?
My name's Ben Zeppo.
You said the sacred word, Ben Zeppo. So you and your partner each get $50.50. Okay, beat it. There you are, and you'll get the 50 cents later. We just don't have any change. See, it used to be $100 for the sacred word. Now it's $101 on account of the other shows giving away such huge sums. This is true. We have increased the amount. Because we don't take a back seat for anybody.
I didn't know what I said.
How old are you, Ben?
13.
13. Huh? You must lead a very clean life because you don't look a day over 30. Were you named after Benjamin Franklin?
No.
Who were you named after? Big
My
Ben,
father.
the alarm clock?
No.
Oh, your father is an alarm clock?
No.
Oh. You know, I never was 13 years old. I was 12 once. In fact, I was 12 for about 8 years. In fact, all the brothers were. When we used to travel in Baltimore, if you were 12 or under, then you went on half fare on the railroad train. And for years we traveled this way. I remember once my mother used to travel with us then. We didn't need her, but she thought we did. And the conductor came along and asked for the tickets, and she gave him 4 half-fare tickets. And he says, "Where are the kids?" And she said, "Well, they're around the train someplace." And he looked in the washroom, and Harper was shaving in there. This is true. And the other 2 boys were in the baggage car shooting dice. And I was making a play for a dame across the aisle. The conductor come back and says, "Mrs. Marks, if these kids of yours are under 12, I'm too young to be running this train," and he jumped off at the next. You have children?
Yes, sir.
How many?
3.
Are you married?
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is name. N-A-M-E.
Really?
You bet your life. The National Broadcasting Company presents Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz show transcribed from Hollywood. And now, here he is, the one, the only...
Nothing to shout about. They're a dime a dozen. Well, here I am again with $2,000 for one of our couples, and if any of them say the secret word, the duck will come down and pay them each $50.50. Our duck gives away more money than any other duck on the air. No other poultry farm can make that statement. The word tonight is name. Hasta la vista. Okay, Rockefeller, take off. George, who's first?
Well, Mrs. Sylvia Thompson and her partner Ben Zeppo are waiting.
Are you wearing a foundation?
No?
You look thinner tonight.
I do?
I guess the way you're standing.
I guess it must be.
I just thought you were wearing a foundation.
Well?
Have you ever worn one?
No, I never have.
Wouldn't hurt you to...
I think Mrs. Thompson and Mr. Zepper are still waiting out there. He's
waiting out where?
Right out here.
What, do you have them tied up or something?
No. There they are now.
Oh, well, welcome. Welcome from Moose Lodge, number 9, East Liverpool, Ohio. Say the secret word and you'll divide $101. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Now, let's see. Sylvia Thompson and Ben Zepper, eh? You make quite a combination there. Sylvia, how tall are you?
I'm 6'1" in my stocking feet and almost 6'4" in my heels.
No. Well, do you know a lot of heels? And Shorty, what is your height?
4'8".
4'8", huh? Is that the class you're in? 4'8", you said?
No.
4'8"?
That's my height.
Oh. 4'8" what, I mean?
Feet. 4 feet.
4'8"
8
feet,
inches.
huh? You're almost as tall as she is. You're the tallest 4'8" I've ever seen. You must have 2 feet elevator shoes on there, haven't you? Huh? Are you married, Sylvia?
Yes, I am. I have a little girl.
Takes care of you also. You have a little girl?
Uh-huh. She's 5 months old.
5 months old, huh? How tall is your husband?
He's 6'6" in his stocking feet.
No. Well, do you all walk around in your stocking feet?
Sure.
Don't you wear any shoes at all in your house?
No, heavens, no.
Well, together you're 13 feet, huh?
Yeah.
Just about. Well, that's an advantage. At least you're never short at the end of the month like most married couples. How did you meet this dinosaur, Sylvia?
Dinosaur?
Didn't she sing a dinosaur? Well, this giant that captivated you.
Well, we were at a tip-topper dance, and...
You were where?
I met him in a tip-topper dance.
Tip-topper dance?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were dancing.
What do you do? Go walk around tip your tops?
No, that's a club.
It's a club?
It's a club for tall people.
Oh.
The girls have to be 6 foot in their stocking feet. Stocking feet.
Here we go again. Next station. Actually, how old are you, Ben?
13.
13. Now, you're sticking to that story, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Ben, I realize the interests of a 12-year-old boy are pretty varied, but what do you like to do best of all?
I like to sing.
You sing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, what do you do? You sing. Are you in the Glue Club or the Glee Club at school?
No, I don't like the Glee Club too well because they sing these long hair deals. I like popular tunes.
Long hair deals?
Yeah, you know, like If I Were an Apple on a Tree.
No, I don't. What kind of an apple was it? Do you remember? Well, it must have been a baldwin if it was long-haired, huh? No, it's just the reverse, I would think, huh? You know, when I was your age, I sang in a Presbyterian church choir in Madison Avenue, New York. This is true. And I sang in this choir until they found out what was the matter with it. Ben, I'd like to hear you sing. Could you sing something for us? What are your favorites?
Oh, Mambo Italiano, Heart. Popular songs like that.
Mambo Italiano and what else?
Heart.
Heart. What do you mean, heart?
Heart.
My heart stood still?
No, just Heart.
Heart. Is that the name of it?
Uh-huh.
Heart, huh? Well, gotta have heart? Is that the name of it?
No, it's just Heart. That's the first words. You gotta have Heart.
And the name of the song is Heart?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what key do you warble in as a rule?
B flat.
Well, if it isn't good, you'll be flat at the finish. Mr. Meekin, could you knock off a few notes for Ben here? Just fake it. Nobody, including your orchestra, will know the difference. Go ahead, Ben. Tell us.
You gotta have heart. All you really need is heart. When the odds are saying you never win, that's when the grin should start. luck is bad and zero. Get your chin up off the floor. Mister, you can be a hero. You can open any door. But good, you gotta have heart.
Sing it, Ben.
Miles and miles and miles of heart. Oh, it's fine to be a genius, of course, but get on a horse before the cart. First, you gotta have heart.
Ben, you've got an excellent pair of pipes, and someday if you work hard, you could be another Caruso.
No, an Eddie Fisher.
What? What's that?
Eddie Fisher.
Well, you're a charming couple, and I hope you both make a lot of money tonight, because right now we're going to play You Bet Your Life. Now, you know how to play this game, Ben?
Mm-hmm.
You know your partners now, and we only want one answer between you.
Mm-hmm.
We start you off with $100, and you miss a question, you lose half your bankroll. Have you met Mr. Fenneman?
No.
Hi, how are you?
Fine.
Hello, Ben. This is, Mrs. Ben P. What is her name? Mrs. Yes. Yes. How do you do? Don't overdo it, George. Now, you selected the musical category. These are all top tunes of the last 20 years. And remember, the more the question is worth, the harder it is. Now, what do you want to start with? 10, 20, 50, all the way to 100?
100.
I think you better discuss this with your partner.
We did.
Oh, you agreed? When did you meet? This morning, you two? Now, this song was written in 1936, but it became very popular in 44. Let's see if you can remember it. Play, Jack. You don't know, guess. I'll give you a hint. It's not My Country 'Tis a Day. It's Poinciana.
You lost half your 100. You still have $50.
Well, now, you've got quite a ways to go. Now, don't go down. What are you going to go for?
90.
90? Originally, this was an old sea shanty, and that became a big hit when a new set of lyrics were added. You tell me the name of it. Okay, Jack. What is it?
Bell-bottom trousers?
Sing it, Ben. Sing it.
Bell-bottom trousers.
That's it. You're a little short in the waist, But that's right. That's for $90, and you now have $140.
Right.
Now, what are you going to go for? 80, 50, 30?
80.
$80. This song was written by Ray Noble. Now, you give me the title of it. What is it?
The Very Thought of You?
The Very Thought of You is absolutely on the button.
You now have $220.
Now, it's your last chance to beat the other couples. What are you going to go for? $70? 70 $70. This novelty song was a big hit a few years ago. Let's see if you can identify it. Play, Jack.
How much is that doggy in the window?
You ought to be ashamed to take the money, Ben. That's a pretty easy question for $70.
And you wind up with $290.
Well, thanks and good luck.
We'll return to Groucho's Fest. Just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Mr. Robert McLeod to be on the show tonight, and his partner is Mrs. Pearl Money. Folks, would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $101. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Pearl Money and Robert, what is it?
McLeod.
McLeod, huh? Oh. Mrs. Money, last time I saw you, you were in my wallet. Where are you from?
Sadlersville, Tennessee.
Where?
Sadlersville, Tennessee.
Sadlersville? You're from the Saddle. What is your name again, Shorty?
My name is Robert McLeod.
the natural affinity between the Scots and money. Just something that, okay, now beat it. Now, I don't want to see you again tonight. You're pauperizing the DeSoto Company. It's $50 for you and $50 for you because that's the secret word, Ben Piazza. Was that the secret word is frail money. No. Name. Now, what is it? Does everybody call you Shorty or what?
No, I'm affectionately known as Scotty Groucho.
Scotty Groucho?
No, Scotty.
Scotty? Well, that's what they call a dog, isn't it? Yeah. Well, why do they call you Scotty? Are you part Swedish?
No, I'm from a place called Queen's Park, which is in the west side of Glasgow, Scotland.
Oh. Well, if you were 100% proof Scotch, you'd have a government stamp on the top of your head. Unless you were bootlegged. Eh? How tall are you, Scotty?
I'm 5 foot, Groucho.
Oh. Well, I'd like to go on with this chat, but the time has come to play You Bet Your Life. You both know how to play this game?
Yes, sir.
Well, anyway, we want one answer between you. Remember your partners. Now, you've selected a thumbnail movie quiz. I'll give you a brief synopsis of some of the most famous movies of all time, and you give me the title of the movie. Some of these go quite a way back, and remember, the more the questions were, the tougher they are. Yes, it is. Am. I had my tongue around my eye tooth, and I couldn't see what I was saying. It's an old Ed Wynn joke. Now, what do you want to start with? 10, 20, 50, 100?
We'll try $50, Groucho.
$50. Well, that's a good Scottish right. My brothers and I made a picture in which practically the whole cast was crowded into a small stateroom in one scene. What was the name of this movie?
Seven Brides for Seven Brothers.
That would have been a much better title, but it happened to be A Night at the Opera. And now what are you going to try?
You have $50 left from the 100.
So we'll shoot for the other 50, huh, Phil?
Well, you can go for 40 or 60. 50 has been taken now.
50 has been taken. We'll take 60.
60. In 1934, both Claudette Colbert and Clark Gable won Academy Awards for their parts in a Frank Capra comedy. You tell me the name of it.
It happened one night.
What was that?
It happened one night.
That's right. It happened one night.
You now have $110.
Oh, what are you going to try? 70? 80?
We'll try for 100, Groucho.
100. In 1928, Buddy Rogers, Clara Bow, and Richard Arlen starred in the first big picture about World War I flyers. What was the name of this picture?
We Fly Alone?
Hell's Angels.
No, that's very nice, but you're both wrong. It was Wings.
You now have $55.
All right, you still got a chance. Now, what are you going to go for? Little ones are easy. Which one? 80? 40?
We'll go for 80, Groucho.
80. Now, one answer this time. I don't want two answers like you did last time. In 1942, Greer Garson, that's a countrywoman of yours, and Walter Pidgeon starred in a movie about an English family during World War II. What was the name of this picture?
The name of it was Mrs. Miniver.
That's right. Mrs. Miniver's right.
And you wind up with $135. And that means that Mrs. Thompson and Ben Zeppa with $290 get the chance at the $2,000 question. Here's the winning couple, Groucho. Mrs. Thompson and Ben Zeppa all set for the $2,000 question.
Well, here's your chance to get rid of that girl, Ben, and because you may have money after this. You also may not. All right, here we go for $2,000. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully, and please no help from the audience. Here it is. Captain James Cook discovered the Hawaiian Islands in 1778. For $2,000, what name did Captain Cook give to the Hawaiian Islands?